Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and welcome to This Week in WoW for the week of August 16th. As usual, we'll start off with the Mythic Plus affixes. This week's affixes are Tyrannical, Bolstering, Explosive, and Encrypted. Again, that's Tyrannical, Bolstering, Explosive, and Encrypted. A little bit of a break here. Bolstering, while not unfortified, is not that bad, but it does slow you down a little bit, of course, in keys as far as timing goes, but that's mostly for like pushing higher keys, right? Bolstering can slow you down a little bit. But I do think there could be one more issue this week. The past 2 weeks we've had area denial, affixes in Sanguine and Quaking inside like Grimrail Depot. Explosive could be interesting in here as well. I don't know how they spawn. I don't know if explosive was ever on like the PTR or whatever for this patch or for this season or whatever. But explosive could be weird on Grimrail Depot as well. So we'll see here. It's obviously not denying you any area. Also, you could just run behind the boxes and LOS the explosives as well. So there could be some positives to it. But I think there could be some possible weird spawns there with explosives. Karazhan, I could see some weird spawns with explosives as well. But yeah, we'll see how it goes overall. I don't think it's going to be as bad as the last 2 weeks though, as far as like those dungeons go. And I think it'll be a little bit better. Of course, bolstering is bolstering either way. But in a general sense though, if you're running a Tal'Zevez Streets, this will be a little bit of an easier week for a key, assuming you don't bolster everything, completely. Obviously, bolstering's been nerfed this expansion as well to not last forever. It goes away eventually, but as long as you don't bolster the crap out of everything, should be a pretty easy week and a nice change from the last 2 weeks. And then we'll get into, I believe, some easier, like super high push weeks here soon for pushing keys and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and talk about what's going on in game this week. This week we have the Fated raid, of course, Sanctum of Domination. This is just obviously Sanctum of Domination with Fated on it. I expect this to be obviously the most difficult raid. It seems all of my projections for Fated raids were correct in that they just used a slider and scaled it up the normal amount. Therefore, Nathria is easier because we have double legendaries. We have extra soulbind stuff, extra conduit. We have a bunch of extra stuff that we didn't have during Castle Nathria. Whereas in Sanctum, we only have like double legendaries, and then we lose the shards or whatever. So it's it's a gain, but it's not like a huge gain. And then in Sanctum, we won't have any borrowed power. Well, the same power that we had when doing Sanctum. So this is going to be this is going to be the normal difficulty of a raid, plus the Fated affixes. Now, some of the Fated affixes make the bosses easier. Some of them don't make it harder, but make it more annoying. So some bosses will be easier than normal for sure, but some won't be. And so that'll be interesting to see how that goes this week with Fated Heroic. This will also be the week that you can get your first dinar. A lot of people will probably be jumping into LFR as soon as the servers go live. There is an extended delay on the servers this week until 3 p.m. Pacific time, which is like 6 p.m. Eastern time. There's an extended delay there, and that's most likely because of the auction house changes, which I'll talk about for a little bit as well. There's also free t-shirt day going on today. It's just like a little thing that happens. It's not a big deal. If you want to know what it is, you can read the thing yourself, I suppose. But vendors are posted in several locations across Azeroth selling t-shirts for free. There are even rumors of entertainers launching free secondhand t-shirts in capital cities. So yeah, you can grab shirts. I assume that you put on your character or whatever, and they're probably just regular, nothing special there. We also have PvP Brawl Temple of Hamuga. We have Time Walking Legion. So this is a big thing as well. So Mythic Plus is still popping off quite a bit. And now we're going to have Legion Time Walking as well. So a lot of people are going to be wanting to farm certain Legion gear from Mythic Plus as well. That's going to be going on this week. So Mythic Plus dungeons will really, really be popping off this week. And, I just did a video about how Mythic Plus is so good this season. I think that, this week it's going to pop off. Next week will probably be still good. Then the high-end players might start getting a little bit bored of Mythic Plus. A little bit. Not the ones who are pushing keys, because I think there's still plenty of room to push. But the high-end people might start getting a little bit bored of keys, probably after either this week or next week. But it's still pretty pretty exciting Mythic Plus season, all things considered. Plus this time walking early on in the season, which a lot of people I'm sure will like. So those are the main things going on, like in game. I did want to talk about the auction house thing, and I wanted to talk about a PvP thing really quick. The auction house thing. So what's happening here is that the auction houses are going to be region wide now. So it's like NA. That's and is NA with OCE? I'm not sure. But NA, Euro, and then like China. Like China's on its own auction house, anyways. But then like an Asian auction house, whatever. So these are all going to be combined for commodities. So this is really good for you, like if you are someone who is like selling herbs, or and not necessarily selling, but like it basically makes it more competition for people who control the markets on commodities. Is basically the way I would say it in like a really simplified form. And so generally more competition equals better prices and better things like that. So for the average player, this should be a good thing. If you're someone who makes money off the auction house a lot, it could be a bad thing for you personally. But generally speaking, it should be a good change overall. And kind of trying to, especially on small servers, trying to stop people who are completely controlling the markets and setting prices to like an unreasonable amount. That won't be able to happen anymore. Every market will look a lot more like a high population server market, and maybe even better now with more stuff going into it. So that's what should happen based on any economics that I've ever learned. So, and then the last thing I want to talk about is a little bit more of a serious topic. It's something I need to do more on and be better at, honestly. I've made one PvP is bad for new players video, but I really want to hammer home how bad PvP is in World of Warcraft. Not because I hate it, but because I actually like it. And I like how it used to be, I should say, and a lot of people do, and a lot of people played BC for PvP and are going to play Wrath of Lich King for PvP, and I think PvP's really got out of hand, and it's gotten really, really terrible over the years, and it's been a long time. It's not like a Shadowlands thing. It's like I haven't really had fun in PvP since like Cataclysm, I would say, is when I started being really bad for me. And maybe if I do some research, I can see some things that started changing around then. And really put a pin on that. But I want to do videos on this. But so a bunch of high-end WoW players got banned. PvP players got banned for win trading, for trading Twitch subs, for victories in Arena, and just RMTing in general. Basically just breaking the rules. And some people got banned for buying, being the buyers as well. And these are things that are, against the rules, against the TOS. Many of them are just lying and saying they weren't doing it. Some of them are admitting they're doing it, but still mad at Blizzard for some reason. And, it's just a little bit ridiculous. These people are actually ruining PvP. I would go as far to say is that they are a big reason why PvP is bad, because I believe that devs in general listen to the high-end community more than the casual community, and I'm not saying that's necessarily a good thing. I think, of course, the high-end community should have a representative, but I think that these people have been forming PvP in an image that best fits them for a very long time, and that's how we've gotten to the point we're at now. With some of these things, that's why we have mages just hard casting things while a warrior beats on them instead of having to run away like you would have to back in the day, because a lot of the top PvP players are mages, and so they're going to give feedback that they need to survive more, and it's dumb that a warrior can beat on them. And so over the years, we now have mages that are tanks, and all kinds of issues like that. And I think it's time to kind of pardon the phrase, pull the ripcord on the current PvP setup and kind of go back to square one. And I plan to do videos on this. I want to just destroy WoW PvP, because the only way it's ever going to get better, I think, is if we start over on it. And it's not any feedback from the high end players isn't going to be good. I think for PvP specifically, we need feedback from the most casual of players, someone even way more casual than me, who maybe likes PvP a little bit, whether that's, I don't even know, but whether that's like a Bellular or whatever, who's not like into PvP, but maybe kind of enjoys it. Somebody super casual into it. I'm sure Asmongold has some good theories on WoW PvP as well, but it's just so bad right now, and I want to see it be better. I really do. And this ban wave just kind of represents that for me, just kind of how toxic that high-end community has gotten over the years. and it was probably always toxic, right? Even when I was a kid, but like it's just gotten so much worse. And like, not that they have power, but a lot of them are streamers. A lot of them have a little bit of influence. They have some relationship with a dev or with a Blizzard representative, something like that. And I think that needs to change. And I think we need to get some new blood. And I think we need to get a new outlook for PvP. So I don't want to go on that too much on this video, but that is something that I plan to do more of because I really do want to make it better. But yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Sorry to get a little bit preachy there at the end. As always, I do ask you to subscribe to the channel. That helps me out so much. Other than that, everybody, have a good one.